French President Emmanuel Macron says that France and its allies could have stopped the 1994 Rwanda genocide, but lacked the will to do so. A strong declaration ahead of the African country's 30th anniversary of the slaughter that left over 1 million people dead. In 2021, during a visit to the Central African country, Macron acknowledged France's responsibility in the genocide, mainly ethnic Tutsis and the Hutus who tried to protect them. He stopped short of an apology, but Rwandan President Paul Kagame signaled that a page had been turned in France-Rwanda ties following a series of French efforts to repair ties between the two countries. So why has the French government taken so long to apologize? That seems to irk some Africans. Here is our cover story.
April 1994. These images of thousands on an exodus are splashed world over. Rwanda was bleeding. Two ethnic groups, the Hutu and the Tutsi, were at war, instigated by their leaders through the radio. The roots of this atrocity lie in the colonial era, when German and subsequently Belgian rule deepened ethnic divisions between the Tutsi minority and the Hutu majority. The genocide began on the night of April 6, 1994, when a plane carrying then Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana and his Burundian counterpart, both Hutus, was shot down. Hutu government soldiers and allied extremist militia went on a rampage against the Tutsi minority, whom they blamed for killing Habyarimana. As many as 10,000 people were killed daily. 70% of the Tutsi population, which was over 10% of the total Rwandan population, was wiped out. The world did react 4 years after the atrocity that claimed close to 1 million lives in less than a month.
We did not act quickly enough after the killing began. We should not have allowed the refugee camps to become safe haven for the killers. We did not immediately call these crimes by their rightful name: genocide.
30 years later, Bill Clinton's words still resonate with many new generation leaders, including the French President Emmanuel Macron. Macron made a significant admission regarding France's involvement in the 1994 Rwanda genocide, stating that France and its allies could have stopped the genocide, but lacked the will to do so.
La France assume tout et exactement cela dans les termes.
France assumes everything exactly in the terms I used on May 27, 2021. And I thank President Kagame once again for the welcome he has given my words, thus opening a new page in our relations.
But other African leaders and Rwandans did not take his apology lightly, because they still don't understand why the French government took so long to acknowledge their errors. But they chose to move on.
Our journey has been long and tough. Rwanda was completely humbled by the magnitude of our loss. And the lessons we learned are engraved in blood. But the tremendous progress of our country is plain to see, and it is a result of the choices we made together to resurrect our nation.
Rwanda has drastically transformed from that horror, when the father of Marie-Jean Uwimana, an ethnic Hutu, murdered most of John Igirazena's ethnic Tutsi relatives during the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. No one expected that love and a marriage could emerge from the horror. But love did conquer hate, and today they are married with their own family. John is a survivor of the Rwandan genocide, also known as the genocide against ethnic Tutsis in 1994. John, now 48, walks with the aid of a crutch and has a visible scar on his head. John and Marie-Jean met in one of the government-set-up reconciliation villages in Bugesera district, set up all over the country. The concept appears to have worked well in uniting and reconciling the East African nation after the genocide.
At first I thought to myself, won't we get married and then he kills me? I also wondered of what type of forgiveness he would give me, knowing that my people killed his people. But he had already started the journey of unity and reconciliation, which I did not know until we started sharing our testimonies as a couple, and this gave me more strength.
A candlelit vigil was held to commemorate the lives of more than 1 million Tutsi and moderate Hutus murdered during the Rwandan genocide 30 years ago. Rwandan President Paul Kagame has been resident since 2000 but effectively in control since his rebel force, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, marched into Kigali in 1994 to end the genocide. He said his country had taken great strides in the last 30 years. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.